Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Arsenal Talk with your hosts, as always, Stevie and Larry. Yes, Stevie, how are you doing, my friend? How was your weekend? How was it overall?
Yes, very good, Larry. I am happy. I am just chilling now. Bit bored, obviously, getting ready for the new season, not the World Cup, but, you know, the World Cup is what it is, and, you know, you've got to support your home
nation. Yeah, absolutely. Which is a bit of a thing for me.
Is Albania in the World Cup? Or?
I was just about to say, unfortunately for me, I don't have that that privilege of being represented by a nation, so I have to, by default, pick England. I don't mind it. It could be worse teams, you know what I mean? It could be definitely worse teams out there. I could be living in fucking San Marino or some shit, so, you know, it could be a lot worse. One doesn't make it in, and the other one gets absolutely slapped about in World Cup competition, so there you go. But no, Stevie, yeah, of course, the World Cup is upon us yet again. It feels like the older we're getting, right, the faster they're approaching. Do you know what I mean? It seems weird. Like, didn't Messi just win it like yesterday or some shit, or the week before, wasn't it? So it's scary stuff. And the problem is that there's a lot of stuff's happened since that World Cup and this World Cup. Do you know what I mean? In that 4-year span, a lot of things have happened. And that's the more frightening bit. It's like, that it feels like football or World Cup is the little break that we're getting. Isn't it? It's like, right, all this world conflict, there's a bit of football for you guys. Bit of entertainment.
Kind of a bit of a distraction, really, isn't it?
Thank you. That's the word that fits in there perfectly. It's a distraction. And, well, you know, I've been following the World Cup since 98. That was the first World Cup I watched because I was 7 then. So...
82 for me.
82, yeah, okay.
Mexico, I think it was. Was it Mexico 82?
Is it 82 Mexico or was it 84 Mexico?
Or was it Spain 82?
I think, wasn't it 82 the Euros? 84 the World Cup. Oh, hold on, right. See, the thing is, right, sorry, we're discussing this. No, it's not even that. We're discussing this, but literally a very simple solution. Just look on Google right now. So there we go.
No, it'd have to have been 82 because 86 was Diego Maradona, Hand of God.
Ah, yes,
so it was 82.
That's right.
I think 82 was Spain, I believe. I think that was my first one.
Oh, fuck's sake. So you type in Mexico World Cup. 86, it was the Mexico World Cup.
86 was Mexico. 86. Was that the Hand of God?
Yes, that was the Hand of God.
So 82 was Spain, was it?
Oh, God, here we go. Now you're going to make me type in another stuff now. Like, you know, oh, God, World Cup 82 was Santiago Bernabeu. Yeah, so, yeah, Spain. That was the final, by the way. That's where the final was held. It wasn't just the whole tournament in that one stadium. That would have been weird. But yeah, 82, right? Okay, weird. Okay, so here we go then. Since 82 was your first World Cup, which I'm guessing that's the one you sort of remember most, right? Because I'm guessing
86.
Oh, that's the one you remember most, right? Okay, so 82, you must have been what, like
12?
Really? That was the first World Cup. I'm talking like I was 7. Like, I remember the 98 World Cup.
Because obviously 1978 was the one before that. And where was that? Argentina 78?
78 was Argentina, yeah.
Because what I distinctly remember about Argentina was all the white kind of paper things getting released from the crowd.
Right.
And that just sticks in my mind. If you ever see it, and I think I remember, like, is it Revellino? It was 1978 for Argentina. Obviously Maradona was there, but I do remember the images of 1978, but first actually sitting down and watching the matches was probably 1982. So I was 12, and obviously then that's when obviously I got into it all, and then you got like the
that's what you were talking about there. Sorry, it's not very clear to you, but like on
all the white.
That's the white. Yeah, that's all the paper or whatever.
Confetti kind of stuff, or whatever it is. Yeah,
very good. Oh, very nice. So, so 78 was sort of one that you vaguely remember, if you will. And
just
then,
because of the white confetti, etc. But to sit down and watch it was 82, yeah.
82, right. Okay, so who won it in 82, Stevie?
Was it Italy or was it Spain? Or was it Germany? It was one of those three. It was either Germany, West Germany.
So it was Germany, Italy in the final.
Yes, I think. Did Germany win it? Was it Rummenigge? Oh, can't.
Excuse me? No.
If you tell me who won it, I'm thinking Rummenigge and Lothar Matthäus. Ring a bell.
Right. It was 3-1, the final score, by the way. I'm just going to... This is a good game. I like this, by the way. This is a nice game. So, yeah, it was 3-1, the final score. And you're saying Germany, West Germany in this case, obviously.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Right. Okay. Well, it was actually Italy who won. It was 3-1. I'm just trying to get to the actual final.
Was Paolo Rossi, was he the scorer?
He was a scorer, and he was also man of the match. Best player.
So Paolo Rossi, So the image that you'll probably remember is when he's doing this.
Yes. That's right.
That image as well.
It's in your head, right?
Wow. Yeah, I can't remember obviously who won in the game. I remember it was Germany or Italy, but I didn't remember the score or anything like that. But I remember Paolo Rossi doing that. That image to me will sort of stay in my memory for life.
Well, there you go. I mean, okay, so who won it in '86 then? Just to get you,
obviously.
Yeah, just to get your juices flowing because you're a bit hazy on the '82 one.
Test me then. Go on, test me. So Argentina.
Okay.
In '86.
86 and then 1990.
Obviously Maradona. 1990, it's got to be Germany.
It's got to be Germany. Ooh, that's all right. Hold on, because obviously, okay, World Cup winner. Here we go. Ooh, you're good. That's good. That's good. You are
94. 94. Brazil
in 94, and then 98.
France
in 98. Yeah, okay. And then 2002.
France again. Was it France again?
Wrong. It's Brazil. Yeah. France won the Euros in 2000.
That's right, yeah.
And then 06 was...
Spain.
No.
Brazil.
No.
Argentina. Germany.
No.
Italy.
It was Italy, France in the final.
Arrivederci.
Yeah, well, you should say that to yourself right now. You got there in the end for sure.
2006.
2006, and then 2010. That was.
Don't tell me.
Of course not. It was 2010, Stevie.
So you got Italy, and then 2010. Was it Brazil?
No. Oh, dude.
Was it someone that I should know?
You should know. You've said their name 3 times.
Spain.
That's right. It was fucking Spain because they won the 2012 Euros as well, which made it one of the only teams to do the 1 and 2.
Yeah. 2014 is going to be a tricky one.
2014. There's only one team, my friend. There was one team that dominated another big team and absolutely embarrassed them. Get me? Okay, so that match, right? That specific match.
Was it 2014? Was it Argentina?
No. The specific match I'm talking about was the scoreline was 7-1. Can you remember that?
Was it South American team?
No.
Was it a European team?
It was a European team. It wasn't
Germany again, was it?
It was, my friend. It was Germany.
Right.
And then,
I remember. This is it. You see, when I was younger, I remembered them more because they probably meant more. Whereas now, from when I stopped remembering them, it kind of became a bit too commercialised. I think that's when obviously the Premiership came in and things like that around that time, didn't it? And I was more interested in the Premiership than I was the World Cup because it meant more back then to me. I don't know about what you think.
I agree because I think 2014 was probably the last World Cup which I remember watching like every single match, like, you know, really enjoying it, and then watching that sort of, you know, Germany loss. The Brazil loss to Germany 7-1, like absolutely collapsed, and they were at home as well. They were the home nation, Brazil.
Right.
So I think that was the last one, and then 2018. Who was the winner, Stevie?
2018. God, wow, this is like 8 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, 2018.
That's the hands of the clock. That's going on right there.
Oh, this is going to be a wild guess. 2018.
Ooh,
2018.
come on, Stevie. This was the most recent one. Well, not most recent, but obviously one of the most recent.
It was the one
ones.
before the last, wasn't
yeah.
it? So 2018. So it wasn't them. Was it them? Was it Spain?
It wasn't Spain.
See what I
Unfortunately,
mean?
my friend, you have lost this game tonight. So, okay, the clue is the team that won, that was their second ever World Cup.
Oh.
And I'll give you, like, actually, I can't give
Germany?
you. No, that was Germany.
No, sorry, Italy.
No.
Oh.
Italy's on
Look at me getting all excited.
4 now, I think, or 3, maybe 4.
So it was the second ever.
Second ever. And if I give you the third clue, you'll just... Yeah, it was France. I was just going to give you the third clue where it's like 20 years before that, they'd won the first World Cup, but I would have given it away.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, which was weird. And I don't know if I've told you this, even like when we worked together at Toyota, when obviously growing up in Albania, because Albania never had an international, team to represent in the World Cup, we had to choose one. And for me, I always liked Zidane. Like, he was always my favorite player of all time. Like, even to this day, I still consider him my favorite.
He's not my favorite. He's one of the favorite players. I loved Zidane.
I'm sure he's going to be on everyone's like sort of top 10 list. I have no doubt. So I love watching Zidane, and I think he was playing for Juventus at the time. Because obviously we watched a lot of Serie A back then in Albania. So AC Milan was the team that my dad supported, and so blah, 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 whatever. So he played for Juventus, but obviously you could tell that he was a fucking great player. Like the way that he just glided everywhere. Anyway, so when the World Cup came around, and this was like I said, the first one that I'd ever watched, I think must have been the 97-98 season that I just watched with my dad, the Serie A. So watching Zidane, I was like, oh, shit, that's the guy. Like, I like that guy. And I'll always remember Laurent Blanc going up to Barthez and kissing his head. Like, that's always etched in my memory,
Yes, I remember that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, always etched in my memory that. Because 96 Euros, I was still too young, and obviously 94 World Cup, I was 3-year-old, so 2-year-old, sorry, so I was never going to remember that. Well, there you go. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you young fucker.
You young bastard.
You're still in your diapers.
Yeah, when you hit puberty, yeah, okay. So obviously watching, and that was and France was the team that I sort of associated with, up until we moved to England and stuff like that. I still liked France, even in 2002 World Cup. I still liked the French team.
What was the Glaswegian kiss? Zidane, you bastard.
Yeah, bastard. That was 2000. That was 2006 World Cup.
Was that a Euro? That
was the Italy final World Cup 2006. That's how he ended his career. Yeah, that's how he ended his World Cup career with the head.
I'll always remember him for that.
Oh yeah, of course,
as well.
Of course.
As much as he was the fantastic, one of the best players, I'll always remember the master.
It didn't, honestly, that did not take anything away from how I feel about Zidane. Like, not even a little bit.
No.
Fuck Materazzi, right? That guy can go fuck himself because he's a prick, and all of his Italian defending prick mates.
He deserved that.
Exactly. He fucking deserved that. So for me, right thing was done. So associating with France, but by 2018, I didn't really care for France. Like, I think during the Raymond Domenech era, do you know what I mean? Like the 2010, 2012 competitions. Do you remember the grey-haired guy with the bushy eyebrows?
Who's that?
Raymond Domenech, the France manager.
Oh, the manager, yeah.
So I never liked him. I thought the guy was trash. Like, he was one of the worst managers I've ever seen, because France had a very good team even back then. But he just didn't do shit with them. And obviously 2010, they were knocked out the group stages in the World Cup. So, so 2018, I totally agree with you. That was the sort of World Cup where I just didn't really care for it that much. It's like, meh, whatever. It is what it is. Everything's become too commercialized. There's been too much spending around the leagues. I think records have been broken by that point, Neymar and all that stuff. It's just like, do you know what? I can't be arsed with this anymore. And again, 2022 was kind of similar. Like, I didn't really enjoy it as much as the other ones. And this one, I can almost guarantee that I'm not going to enjoy it as much as any of the other ones. So, but it's a bit sad though, isn't it? It's a bit sad because the World Cup, it was just something special.
For me, I mean, you kind of lose interest with internationals. I think that I've fallen out of love with international football. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because I'm that engrossed with the Premiership, and it's like a weekly thing where you kind of, your team is against the world, and in effect, well, it is at the moment, and it has been for the last God knows how many years, but it just becomes more tribal, and you get a bit more associated with your team as opposed to the internationals. I know everyone's like, oh yeah, it's your home country kind of thing. Obviously with us, it's a bit different with you with obviously Albania, but with England, it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it all started probably back in probably 20 years ago for me, because I lost interest and I didn't really know. Like I've just said there, I didn't know who was in the final, who won it. Going back sort of 15, 20 years, because I lost interest because the Premiership overtook my life, really. And just a quick one: how old were you then when we, as in Arsenal, won the Premiership last? Obviously, 22 years ago. How old were you?
So 2004. They won in May 2004, so I would have been September 2004. I would have been 13, so I was 12-year-old.
Wow!
So I was 12 years old. Yeah.
See, do you know when we get back to our little debate about Champions League and Premiership?
Yeah.
Because I was 34 when we last won it. So I've lived 20 years where you've been kind of growing up, going through your teenage years.
Yeah.
So.
Formative years,
being
as
as passionate. I'm not. No disrespect. I'm not.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
It's like,
I totally agree.
For me, I'm a man. I'm kind of like your. How old are you now?
I'm 34 now, so same age you were back then. Yeah. How weird is that? There you go.
That is bizarre.
That is so weird. I just realised as well, that is so fucking weird. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That is weird.
Spooky.
That is so weird.
That's another one for the Twilight Zone.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Wow.
So. Let's hope it's not another 20. Let's hope you're not 56 when we win it again.
Who am I doing this podcast with?
Oh my god.
Fucking hell, man, honestly. Is it going to be your son that I'm going to be doing this podcast with, and then by the time he's 34, and oh my god, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible, honestly. Weird. But yeah, there you go. So that's a weird thing. But I agree with you. And of course, going through my formative years, there was a chunk of that where I spent playing basketball, and that was my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about football that much. And then I think it was maybe around like 11, 12. That's when I sort of like stopped watching Arsenal altogether. I was like, I can't be asked because everyone's beating us. You know what I mean? We're not doing shit. Top four. That seems to be enough. Do you know what I mean? And that's what pissed me off. But then as soon as we got Ozil in, and then Sanchez came in, and then we started getting players in, like we started buying players from 2013 onwards. I was like, oh, all right, shit, ambition's coming back. Little did I know. It was going to be another 12 years before we won anything. But yeah, well, sorry, we won the FA Cup, so let's be fair. Yeah. But in terms of Premier League, I didn't realise it was going to be that long. And then obviously 2015, 2016 season happened where Leicester won it and we were so close. Again, that sort of fired up more of a passion for me from then on for Arsenal, and for the Premier League. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you. You'd already made your mind up that Arsenal were going to be your team by that time. Do you know, by 2004, it's like,
I think what I was trying to allude to when we got talking about the World Cup, and then obviously when you think about 1998 when France won it. You were kind of how old again? Sorry.
So that happened in the summer. So that I was 6, because obviously September is my birthday, so I would have been 7 in September. But 6 technically.
Yeah, because it's like that. It's because obviously you missed the great French team with Henry, Petit, Vieira, etc., which were legends for Arsenal, as you obviously well know now. Yeah. And in 2002, obviously they got the World Cup of the European Championships within 4 years, kind of thing. Yeah. And that was like, with you saying you remember France from whenever it was. That team there was amazing with his Desailly, I think it was, as well in the team.
Yeah.
Which
Manuel Petit, Dugarry, I think he's the guy who scored right at the end, who made it 3-1.
Unbelievable French team, and they were the kind of nucleus of Arsenal's.
Patrick Vieira, I think Vieira was playing at the time as well. Vieira was playing. I don't know if he was that prominent, but they were all part of that team.
I think he might have just been coming into it.
Yeah. But there you go. So again, weirdly, now that you say it out loud, that's the connection to Arsenal, whether I realised it or not.
Subliminal.
That's the connection to Arsenal.
Subconscious.
Do you know what I mean? And to add even more to it, when we lived in Redcar, the next door neighbour, he was an Arsenal fan as well, and obviously through that sort of grew my love for Arsenal. And then, like you said, Henry and all that stuff, that was the connection. It's like, shit, I know this guy, and I've seen this guy before. I've seen him at Juventus. What's he doing over here? Let me
You've seen him.
Yeah,
You've seen him doing his grass slide on his knees.
Yeah, let me support this team. Let me just you just shit all over this team in white. Okay, yeah, fuck them as well. But yeah, so yeah, it's just weird in general. Like, but that's it. The World Cup and all it shows really. Obviously, I was born in Albania, right? And, you know, there's an age difference between us, but at the same time, the connection is still Arsenal. And it doesn't matter how you got there, we got there, innit? Like, that's the weird thing about it. Like, you was through the Premier League, me through the World Cup, because that was the sort of main entry into the more international football rather than just fucking Italian football, which, by the way, in the 90s was fantastic. But...
Because in fact, just quick, sorry, just quickly, interrupt there. Because when we get back to obviously the Champions League and the Premiership, I've had like 22 years of wait. You haven't. You've only had maybe like 10 or 15, haven't you?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the grand scheme of things, that's why the Premiership to me was like, oh my God, we have to win it. It's like imperative, and it's the be all and end all. My life depends on us winning it. Yeah. Champions League was ice on the cake, and I would have loved it because we never won it, etc., etc. But I get that. I get why you, Buck, and all millions of other fans around the world want the Champions League because it's the, it's the
white whale
elephant in the room. We haven't actually the white whale. That's right. We haven't actually done it, but. We could get there, but the Premiership for me personally, it was always what I wanted.
Yeah.
But that's beautiful about it, isn't it?
I think, do you know what it is, right? I remember, and you probably remember as well, in 2005, the great Champions League final, Liverpool, AC Milan, 3-0, 3-3, and then Liverpool win it. Again, watching that, the emotions that I got, because obviously AC Milan, and again, this is the early stages of us being in England, so I was still like, AC Milan was still like in my blood, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just love that team, and Shevchenko, Maldini.
I've got a story
Nesta.
about final, which I'll tell you in the end.
I like it. And I remember the emotions that I got when obviously, half time was 3-0. It's like, all right, this is over, this is done with. And then, that happened. And I remember standing up and just like kicking the chair behind me, like the little sofa that was like, fucking hell, like, as a child, like just fucking, I was so pissed off. But and then watching Liverpool lift that trophy, I don't know, there was something about the stars of the Champions League, as in like, the actual logo, the football, the big eared fucking trophy. There's just something about that with the wafer emblem right in the middle. I don't know, man. There's just something about that.
It's the size of the trophy, isn't it? I think that's what's great, and that's why we like the Premiership. And when you look at the Carabao Cup, it's a little tiny little egg cup, isn't it? That you think Mickey Mouse Cup, and the FA Cup's a bit bigger.
FA Cup's more like
FA
Cup's more like intricate, isn't it? As in like more sort of like unique, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain. Like, do you remember in F1 where they had the Hungarian Grand Prix, and then Lando Norris got this little vase looking thing, and then he broke it. He just literally just fell out of his hand and he broke the trophy, basically.
Yeah.
But everyone hated it. Oh, fuck it. But it's unique. Do you know what I mean? It's something different, and that's with the FA Cup. But every other trophy, like I think we discussed the Bundesliga one. That's a terrible looking fucking. That's the massive shield. That's a terrible looking one. You know what I mean? So anyway, So it's the big year trophy. That's what I want, man. I want to see that.
I understand.
The star above our emblem on the shirt the season after. That's what I want. All right. That's it for me. I want to see a star over Arsenal's name. That's it. And then I'm happy to just let it go, man. I wouldn't
stop supporting them.
It's not even that. It's just like I don't need to argue with anyone online. It's like, we won Champions League, we won Premier League more times than most teams. See you later, lad. You've got nothing on us now. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we won it twice. All right, but that means that Real Madrid have won it 14, 15 times, so no one should be able to talk, right? So, do you know what I mean? So it ends a lot of debates, and that's the cherry on the fucking cake. I
think that'll be the challenge now for the next sort of 5 years. Really, I think the Premiership, like you say, it's been done now. We've had it. We've got the white whale kind of thing of. Is the thing that we're all going to be focused on now for the next sort of 3, 4, 5 years. The Premiership's been done now, so we can probably miss it. Even though I want to retain it, we could probably miss it for the next 2 or 3 years. But
Well,
we'll see.
Okay, look. Interestingly, you say that, right? I think which is a nice segue, by the way, into what we're going to talk about next. About strengthening the team, and potentially, because we're going to have this conversation, and this conversation is going to change between now and then the beginning of the season or the end of the transfer market. This conversation is going to change many, many times. So, we'll take it with a pinch of salt, and you don't have to. We're not going to deep dive into fucking players until they have been finalized, right? I feel that's fair. And then once that's done, I think we'll do a podcast specifically on that player with some good bits, bad bits, whatever, right? So that could be part of.
Just quickly on before we move into the transfers, I was telling you about in 2005 the Champions League final. So I was with my ex at the time. So obviously I'm married now, and this was an ex, and we were in Tenerife, and I remember it was on, and I thought, it's Liverpool, it's AC Milan. I really want to watch it, but hey ho. So we goes out for a meal, and as you say, little streets and things like that, like where you sit outside and you have a meal, don't you? And I remember thinking to myself, it's kicked off now. And we'd finished the meal, and I thought, should we go and watch it? No, but we walk along like the seafront, etc., past the bars and things like that. And then I heard a cheer, a roar. I didn't think anything of it. I remember looking at the missus at the time and going, oh. And she didn't do it. She just went, oh, like that. She's not into football or anything like that. And then I don't know how long it was, 10, 15 minutes, might have been longer. I can't remember, when the second goal goes in, and then I hear the cheer. And I was thinking, fucking hell, what's going on? You know what I mean? Died, I fucking know. And then obviously 5 or 10 minutes later, another cheer. I'm thinking, fucking, what's happened? It's been kicked off ages, and they're cheering now. I mean, so I said, look, we don't have to go to a pub. We'll have to find a pub and see what's going on. So gets to a pub, and it's the penalties. And I was like, oh my God, I fucking missed the whole match, and it's gone to penalties. And then when I found out they were 3-0 down, I was like, shit. Anyway, we split up after that.
Well, I'm pretty sure, and I'm hoping, by the way, that wasn't the reason why you split up, because you missed the football match. But
no, she knows I was an Arsenal fan, and the last time we actually won the Premiership was the year we split up.
Wow.
2005, I think it was.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We split up literally not so long after that holiday. I think it was the summer, wasn't it, of 2005. We went to Tenerife, and we split up in the September, I think it was.
Wow.
October.
Wow, you really took that to heart, didn't you? You took that fucking thing to heart, didn't you, really? So, fucking hell, Stevie.
But it was just the cheers. It got me. I always remember the cheers. That's something about it. I was thinking, what's going on? And I realised I was 3-0 down at half time, and that's probably what the English fans were cheering about, So there you go. Anyway.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah, that was such a good final. I actually watched. There's a documentary on Netflix that sort of goes through that match, and that was really good to watch. It was just reliving memories, seeing Ancelotti with sort of salt and pepper hair, not just salt nowadays. But it was just it was good seeing all the players, to be fair. But yeah, that was a great final, and hopefully one time we will have something like that where we go down in history, man.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like that, because that's definitely heart attack central. But there you go.
Yeah.
So there's obviously been some talk with some players that we've been linked with, early on. But let's preface this by saying that nothing's going to happen until after the World Cup. Right, so these are just pure speculations. These are just, is it a good idea? Is it a good fit? What are the chances of it happening? That sort of thing, right?
Okay. I mean, before I don't know if you've got some names in the hat, which I think we probably both got a few names and things like that. But before we came on air, there was a breaking Sky Sports News story where Real Madrid, obviously the new president, is it Florentino Perez? I think it is. He's called.
Yes, he retained that. Yes,
he has allegedly put £129 million euro bid. I don't think it's £129.
150 million euros, wasn't it?
Is it 150 million euros? Is it right?
Yeah. That's what's been reported. No, sorry, that's for Elise. That's for Elise. The 150 million. Is it different? Is it a different bid that he's making?
Yeah, this is for Alvarez.
Oh my god! Right, sorry. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Real Madrid didn't have any money. Like, where are they getting fucking over 200
Well,
million?
Barcelona allegedly don't, but
what the?
The corrupt.
Please
doesn't come into it. But no, yeah.
Please.
So obviously, he's one of a potential player for us, which, in the grand scheme of things, if they're bidding that sort of money for him and Atletico Madrid are turning it down, unless Atletico Madrid don't want to sell to a rival, because it would be daft to be fair, because obviously they would just strengthen them even more. Yeah. I think, if he goes to Madrid, I think they're very much certain to, because they've already signed a couple of other players, haven't they?
Sorry.
They've turned it down anyway.
Sorry, just real quick then. I mean, even if they get that sort of money, Atletico Madrid, they've strengthened the rival, right? But who would they get in? Like, that's a lot of money. But who would they get in? Who is willing to work with Diego Simeone? Like, you look at the track record so far. It's like what, I think maybe one La Liga.
Yeah, in 14 years.
In 14 years. It's like
2 Champions League finals, something like that.
Yeah. All right, great. That's brilliant. But shit. If it doesn't count for us, it doesn't count for anyone else, right? So fuck them. Yeah. No, that doesn't count. You didn't win shit, mate. So okay. Yes. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's difficult for players to sort of, I guarantee that players think about the manager that they're going to be working under, and you look at Diego Simeone, it's like, all right, maybe 10 years ago I could have been fooled by this guy, but like now I've seen enough to be
but Alvarez went there, didn't he? So you've got to think.
I know, but it's the fact that he's willing to leave. That says a lot, to be honest. You know what I mean? And it can't be like, oh, they're willing to sell him, because that's stupid. That's stupid if they're willing to sell. Alvarez. It's like, well, he's your best player. Like, who else will you get in? Haaland's not going to come to you. That's almost guaranteed. That's not going to happen. So who are you going to get that's going to strengthen that team? So I don't know. It's a bit weird, to be honest. But I'm glad in a way that they have rejected it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is not to strengthen the rival, and then obviously sell to us. Could we be a Champions League rival? Could that bite them in next season?
Yeah. What worries me with Alvarez and obviously Andrea Berta being there, the kind of friction that all that's caused, especially when we played them, and I don't think relationships are that great, to be fair, unless we were potentially offering someone like Martinelli and Jesus in a part exchange swap deal, which would sweeten it. We would have to really sort of push the boat out to get Alvarez. I think we can forget about Alvarez personally. That's my personal take on it.
Okay, I mean, let's just logically, right? Because I think we're going to agree on this anyway, but like logically, okay, they won 129 million, right? For example, even from a European team, like from Arsenal, for example. All right, we spend that money, but what the fuck has that solved? Do you know what I mean? Like, in the nicest way possible, what the fuck has that solved? We bring in 130 million fucking pound player. Then what? Unless we have a 500 million pound budget, that then we can afford to start doing this shit. Fair enough, but I don't think we're ever going to have that. Do you know what I mean? There has to be people sold for people to come in, and obviously anything over 100 million, unless it's someone like a Kvaratskhelia, I cannot see that happening. Right? Do you agree with that, or do you think that's a bit like, well, it depends on what the right player is, sort of thing, not just Kvaratskhelia?
I personally think we'll have to talk about this as the season progresses. Once the World Cup's over and we're getting close to obviously transfers. They may have happened during the World Cup, who knows? I personally think that now we've won the Premiership, we need to prove a point, and we can't pussyfoot around with the likes of Norgard, people like that. I don't want us to buy players that are going to be just backups. I want us to go and buy Kvaratskhelia. I want us to go and buy Alvarez. I want us to go and try and sign Nico Williams, Morgan Rogers. I want the big names, the biggest names. Yeah, okay, we're not going to compete with Real Madrid because certain players will have a certain affinity, like we all have with Barca and Real Madrid. It's a boyhood thing that you grew up wishing you could play for them. I understand that. But if the likes of, is it Yildiz? I think he plays for Juventus, someone like that. Morgan Rogers, anyone else out there other than the ones that want to go to Barcelona, I want us to be linked and pushing for them. We've signed Declan Rice, 105 million. I don't see why we can't get someone.
I don't disagree with you, by the way. Like, no, and I'm not saying that we like financially can't afford these players. All I'm saying is, obviously, there's going to be a certain budget, and I'm thinking, I don't know. Again, this is just pure speculation because I don't think I've read anything out there that's definitive. But I'm thinking around the sort of 350 million, right? And I think that's just a budget without anyone going out. I feel.
Yes.
I feel like that's.
Yes.
I feel that's enough to complete the team to make us, compete for Champions League and all the other trophies at the same time, right? Would you say that's fair?
Yes, but I don't think our team needs major surgery. I would say sell the odd player like the Jesus, Norgard, etc., etc. We all know that potentially are going, but let's go and buy 3 players for 100 million, and that would be. To me, okay, look, I don't think Rashford, if we were going to get Rashford, it's going to be 100 million, but go and get Morgan Rogers, right? He's a 90,
they were talking around the sort of 80, 85 one, potentially even around the 75.
If there's a bit more, he might go more. Who knows,
yeah.
Right? But if he wants to come to us, then we will get him for what we want.
Yeah.
Go and get Tonali. We've always said we need some cover for Rice.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers, and then I don't really know who you could get as a centre forward. Alvarez is obviously the standout performer, but I'm sure we'll be able to find someone else out there that's kind of equally as, influential in the game. But we've got a lot of young talent still to come through. We've still got Max Down, we've still got Wanyeri. We've still got a nucleus we've just won the Premiership, but go and strengthen. Go and get 3 players. That's it. But make sure them 3 players are going straight in. They're not going to be sat on the bench. They're not going to be waiting for the next. We've allegedly signed this Monga guy from Leicester who looks a massive talent. Don't get me wrong, but it's the Championship. It's not the Champions League. He might be fantastic. He might be as good as Doku. He might be shit. He might be just another lightweight kind
Only
of.
Time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Which is, these are not the players that we need right now. We don't need time will tell players. We need right now players. And look, I like the sort of choices that you've said there. And I think most Arsenal fans will like that because the Premier League players very strong. They can fit straight into a decent system with a good manager, and I think they can make a difference for sure. Personally, I like. If they are serious, then I would do everything in our power to go and get Kvaratskhelia, right? I feel if that's a signing that we can pull off, then that there's nothing more serious than that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we really need to be. And I feel if there's going to be 130 million on the table to spend on one single player, for argument's sake, one single superstar, and maybe that's the conversation. One superstar, 3 very good players. That's your complete team, right? If that's the case, then Kvaratskhelia is the only obvious choice out there, right? You need to pursue that until the very end, until they're literally going, get the fuck out of my office. You are not buying this player, right? Until that happens, you pursue that sumbitch, because Kvaratskhelia has achieved everything now with Paris, right? He's won their league twice in a row, whatever it is. Definitely it's going to be 3 times in a row by the end of next season. He's won the Champions League and retained it. So, he's completed that. If he is wanting a different challenge, and I feel like the Premier League is the only logical choice, because you can't go to Serie A, that's a sidestep. You can't go to Germany, that's a fucking downgrade to to Liga. You're not going to go to America, you're still too young. So I feel like, Premier League, if that's the case, we are the team. We should be the team, waiting, opening the fucking doors for him, welcome him. It's like, yep, come on to England, mate. This is the team for you. There's your house, done. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
100%.
That's the seriousness of the team. And again, like I said, I have no doubt that we financially can compete with other teams, other big teams. But let's, take Chelsea as an example. They spend a lot of money, no talent really. They literally can't get rid of their talent quick enough because no one wants to fucking touch them because of their contracts. So it's not necessarily the more players, the better. It's just the quality players that we need. And Morgan Rogers, I think he should be the second on the list to Kvaratskhelia, to be fair with you, as an overall buy, because just a brilliant player and someone who can score from outside the box like it's nothing. This guy can strike a ball like you playing FIFA. Do you know what I mean? Just aim, shoot, done. He's done with it. And he'll be a brilliant addition, whether playing on the left or free roaming behind the striker, whatever it is. But you said, obviously, you mentioned Alvarez. Is buying a new striker a good sign for everyone? It just kind of says, I don't like one of yous. Someone's going to get pushed out. Who is it going to be? And I'm not talking about Jesus, by the way, because it's Havertz and Gyökeres.
No, well, I personally think that if you signed Alvarez, he's the number one starter and Gyökeres is the backup. And I think Havertz and Jesus, Martinelli, Odegaard, I think serious kind of surgery would be required, but you'd have to replace him with Rodgers, Alvarez, and Tonali, I think, personally, because I think Havertz, as decent as he is, he's not the answer. I know he's one of your favourite players, and I do kind of rate his technical ability, but he's not what we need to take us to the elite to keep us challenging year in year. We need Alvarez, and if it was something like 150 million, I'd sign him, and if it was another 150 million for Kvaratskhelia, I'd just get them too. And obviously we've got Eze, we've got the rest, we've got Rice, we've got Mendy still, and we sell a few players. I think if we could get them two players, and it was 300 million, and it wins his Champions League, mate.
I mean, come on, yeah, of course. That's no one's going to deny that. That's a perfect buy, to be fair. But I think it's tricky though, especially with the left wing, because okay, let's say you get rid of Martinelli, you get rid of Trossard. Who else would you have there? Do you know what I mean? Like, who? Even if Kvaratskhelia came in, for argument's sake, who would you have on that left-hand side to substitute in? And that's the sort of bigger problem when you look at it. And this is why I say, like, potentially Eze, but like his best work has really come from the sort of deep line running forward midfield, box to box, that sort of that old Xhaka role, if you will. That's where he was really good, or free roaming directly behind the striker, where it's just like, just let him do his thing. Let him pick up the rebounds, let him shoot from the outside. So
Alvarez, some nice players on the left, and then if you've got this Monga guy, he's only going to be sort of 10, 15 million. So,
but that's okay. That's fair, that's a nice little solution. But because obviously, knowing our track record in terms of injuries, that usually means that both players on the left wing will get injured and we'll have fucking no one. So this is the. Well, I'm guessing this is why obviously these guys get paid the sort of serious money, because they are gambling at the end of the day. Buying players, you're gambling. It's never 100% fucking thing. Like, say, for example, you buy Haaland, you think 100% this guy's going to score goals for us, gets injured beginning of the season, doesn't fucking play for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? So it's always a gamble, and sometimes you'll have to take the risk. And again, because we're saying Kvaratskhelia may be worth 120 million, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to thrive in the Premier League. He could literally flop. Do you know what I mean? So they
could do a Pepe.
Absolutely. And look, the whole thing with Pepe, I feel like if Arteta brought him in initially, I think there's something could have happened there. Something different would have happened, especially the way that our seasons played out in the future, like sort of in the subsequent sort of seasons. I think Pepe would have been a good addition, man. Like, fuck it. He was never going to be the £80 million player that we thought, or whatever, or whoever overpaid for him. But I think it would have done a job for us. Threatening enough to do a job for us. But anyway, forget that. So yeah, it's always a gamble, and this is why I say, let's say 350 million, for example, to spending 300 mil on two players. That's a massive gamble, because you've just totally ignored the rest of the team. Like you said, you bring those two players in, but where's your extra midfielder? Where's your Tonali, for example? For argument's sake. Again, other players are available, by the way, but these are players that we'd like to see. Of course, the World Cup is just about to start, so there's going to be many, many other players in between who are going to shine and who are going to be like, yes, I want him, right?
Yeah.
So that's my only argument towards that. But of course, if it's an unlimited fucking budget, then yeah, by all means, go fucking get them all. Do you know what I mean? Grab them like fucking Pokemon, put them all in the basket.
Well, yeah, if we sell, look, Liverpool spent almost $500 million last season. Yeah. They did sell a few players, but if we can do something similar, then, but then there's the case of, do you tinker too much? And look what happened to Liverpool. They bought, Isak, 125 million, he got injured. They bought Ekitike, he got injured. So, they spent a lot of money and finished, fourth, fifth? So,
prime example of my point, by the way. That is a prime example of my point.
And that's going to be on.
Sorry, we'll caveat that by saying that, you know, maybe Slot wasn't the right person to lead that Liverpool team after Klopp, because again, how can you follow that? You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, how can you follow the Beatles? How can you follow Michael Jackson, for example, on stage? You just can't do it. You let them end the fucking show. And obviously, again, I understand that the football team needs to carry on. They're not just going to be like, all right, we're done. Thanks everyone. That's it. Right? You'll never walk alone. Yep, all of you either. So, you know, it's difficult. Of course it's difficult. Wenger, Fergie, Pep's going to be, again, it's a cycle. It's nothing new, nothing changes. But again, maybe not the right guy for the job. So, and I feel like Arteta, if he has that sort of money or has those sort of players at his disposal, like a Wirtz, for example, or Isak, I think they would have thrived. I genuinely think they would have thrived. But that's a could have been. What could have been there? So. Oh God, there was another point that I wanted to bring up, but because we went on so long about transfers and shit.
I know I need to write stuff down as I'm thinking, and I was thinking, should I put in or I won't put in? I will tell you at the end. Now I forgot, and there was two things, and I forgot the other one as well.
Yeah, honestly, but of course, like I said, you know, these conversations will always be dynamic and will always change, because like we said, there could be different players. Morgan Rogers could be fucking injured with England in the first match. Do you know what I mean? God forbid, obviously not. But
there's just a quick one on the Morgan Rogers. I know there's I don't know if you've seen it in some of the news outlets about Morgan Gibbs-White as an alternative if we don't get him. I mean, what do you think of that? I mean,
it's a bit underwhelming.
He's not a bad player, is he?
It's a bit underwhelming, I'll be honest.
Do you think underwhelming?
Yeah, I think it's a bit underwhelming, to be fair with you. Whereas I feel like Morgan Rogers, because he's still young, he has a bit more of a ceiling to sort of reach. Again,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to kind of play a bit devil's advocate, because they've said as a backup in case. So to me, I don't want backups. We've won the Premiership. We're Premiership champions. I want us to aim for the best.
Yeah. That's exactly the reason why I said something. It's like, okay, this is the guy I'm going to see on the bench. I'd rather see him on fucking Notts Forest bench. You know what I mean? Or wherever he plays.
Don't get me wrong, he's a decent player, and he's done all right for Notts Forest. And don't get me wrong, he probably will be a decent addition. He could potentially be like a Trossard type of acquisition, but he's not going to be 29 million. He's going to be probably 60 million at least. So he's not really, you know, I could see him being a great backup. Is he better than Odegaard? Possibly. Could we sell Odegaard and have Morgan Gibbs-White and have Morgan Rogers? These are all questions that the people that get paid millions that look at all like the technical side of it, you know, track and back, etc., because he's a bit more robust than Odegaard.
Okay, I'll give him.
He scores more goals than Odegaard.
I'll give him the robustness.
He's not as clever and he's not as clinical. He's not as tricky, but Odegaard.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Of course. And look, and we're not saying that Rodgers he will have, you know, the sort of 100% same level of high performance every single fucking match. But I think I don't know. I just feel like maybe Odegaard. Don't sell. Of course, I don't think we should sell Odegaard. I really don't. I don't think he should be captain, but I don't think we should sell him unless a very good offer comes in where you think, all right, we have to consider this. If someone comes in with 80 million or 90 million for fucking Odegaard, shit, yeah, snap the fucking hands off and don't even look back. Just be like, right, thank you very much.
Would you be happy with 80 million and going to Man U?
Can you repeat the question?
So you'd be
don't
happy with
the question.
80?
Do not repeat the question. I do not want to hear that. That is trash talk. All right, forget what I said. If an 80, 90 million pound offer comes in outside of the Premier League, absolutely fucking sell him, right? Because there's only a couple of teams that can afford him. You know, Liverpool, they can afford him. They're never going to buy him because they already bought. Man United, they're looking for midfielders. Very high chance of them even sniffing around. Don't think he's the type of player, though. I think, like you said, I think the weakness and the lack of strength that he shows, I don't think he's the right fit for that team, to be honest with you, right? And I feel like Bruno's there still, so like, fucking come on. You're not going to have the two of the best sort of attacking midfielders in the same position. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to work. No. And you know how Bruno is. If it doesn't go his way, it never goes. So you have to keep him happy. City, shit, he'll never go to City. He'll get shot before he makes it to Manchester. Do you know what I mean? From the fucking
He would actually fit in perfectly with them, though, because they have so much ball possession.
Yeah.
He would hardly get bashed off the ball. He would be fed the ball like he'd be a Cherky type player, but they don't need him. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He would be a great addition.
Exactly.
He's like a Foden, isn't he? He's like that type of
yeah.
Foden-ish role.
Yeah. And other teams like Newcastle, he'll never go to Newcastle. There's not enough ambition for him.
No.
So, do you know what I mean? So it most likely, if he goes, it's going to be outside of the Premier League, unless he does a Van Persie and then Van Judas. So fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Oh, and funny things about that. He got fucking sacked from Feyenoord. Yeah. Finished 19 points behind.
Serves you right for slating us. Yeah, he was fucking mouthing off. They'll never win the league. Never win the league under Arteta.
But he never even
That's what I said, actually.
Never even gave Arteta a chance. Yeah, okay, but fair enough. You're a fan, right? You've got your own emotions. He is a professional, and Arteta is a fucking professional. They played together. Do you know what I'm saying? They played together. It's like, at the very least, have respect for your fucking old friend or old colleague. Do you know
absolutely.
What I'm saying? Yeah. But the fact that he never gave him a chance, even after the FA Cup win, it was like, oh, just because they won the FA Cup, that doesn't mean Arteta's the right guy for the Premier League. It's like, brother, you are going out of your way to make enemies with the Arsenal fans. And guess what? You have succeeded. You are one of the most hated people. I think we've forgiven Ashley Cole. We haven't, by the way. I think we've forgiven Ashley Cole just because how much we hate Robin Van Persie. Robin Van fucking Judas, the prick. And I always used to like him as well. Always used to like him as well, like when he played for us, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, fuck that guy. Obviously, a couple more things in terms of players potentially going out. There's been talks of Calafiori going to Madrid. How do you feel about that? Yeah. How do you feel about that?
As much as I kind of dislike him, and he's not a great defender, he's kind of a useful addition. But will he be happy sat on the bench? Possibly, because he's probably got more modelling kind of interests on the side. So that might suit him as a footballer. To me, Hincapié is our left back, and I know there's talk that we'll be looking at some German international left back. Is it German international? He plays for Eintracht Frankfurt anyway. If we can sell him and we get some money back for him, I'd sell him, personally.
Wow. Damn, man.
I know he's your favourite long-haired liability.
I think I kind of agree with you. I don't think he'll be happy to sit on the bench, and I don't think. Well, actually, saying that, he could be a fucking perfect fit for Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Like in playing in Europe. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't think if that's the case, if that's even the conversation that's allowed to happen, it feels like Arteta sort of maybe had enough with the sort of injuries and the fact that he's not being consistent. So I can't blame him. Unfortunately. So it's it is what it is. And sorry, did Arbeloa just get sacked?
Sorry?
The Arbeloa, yeah, he's left.
Yeah, because
sorry, Mourinho. Yeah, of course. Yeah, my bad. Mourinho signed. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So I don't. As much as I like them both, Hincapié and Calafiori, I feel like they serve two different purposes, and they are good to have in the squad. And I don't feel like one of them is clear choice over the other one, to be honest. It's all about game state, and I feel like Calafiori, he offers just, obviously, like you said, like that dynamic attack, dynamic running, and we want that. We need that for the players that we have. But sometimes Hincapié is needed to break, to hold someone like a Salah, for example.
Yeah, I think it's the opposition, isn't it? I think it's nice to have that kind of different style of player. One's graceful, likes going forward and great in the air, great in the box, great with his left foot, and the other one's a great defender. So it's kind of who you're playing, really.
Exactly, and again, that it's all game state dependent, and that's why I feel like I wouldn't be too happy if they let Calafiori go. I'll be honest with you, right? If that was the case, let's do some quick arithmetics. And how much do you think Calafiori would go for after 2 seasons with us now? 1 season with us?
I think we would be looking to get our money back, which is about 45 million, isn't it? Something like that. I can't see us getting more for him. Just pure on his injury track record. Would we settle for 30? Probably not. It's got to be the same as what we've paid or more if we were going to sell him. Now, if we can get Livramento, which there's talk about, he can play both sides, and we've got Lewis Skelly, and we've got Hincapié. I think that's kind of enough cover at the back if we were going to sell him, because to be fair, Livermento's a younger, quicker player. So to me, I think I'd have the boy Liv or the boy Cali.
The only time I'd be happy and accept Calafiori being sold is if it's 60+ million. That's the only time I'd even consider it, because what is the fucking point, man? You know, like you said, you got Livramento, you mentioned him there, but like Calafiori's still a young fucking player. I know he looks
He's not quick though, is he?
He when he gallops, shit. When he goes forward, he's very quick. And Livramento,
like, you know, custard.
He has his moments, and I feel like if that's the way you're looking at it, I feel like you might as well just fucking keep him, unless it's significant amount. Like you said, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
60 million. I feel that's probably the minimum I would accept especially from someone like a fucking Real Madrid. Like, you know, don't come knocking here and, you know, hands in pockets going, I'm a cheapskate. Fuck off. Pay the money. You want him. There you go. We don't want to sell him, so there you go. That's my point, really. As long as we don't want to sell him, I'm happy with that. Do you know what I mean? I can rest with that. If obviously, you know, the rumor is where yes, we're looking to sell, then that's a whole different conversation.
If we're going to go numbers wise, then say for instance we get 40 million for him. Say if your estimates of 300 million, we might have more. So say if we've got 300 million to start with, then we get Calafiori, that's 340. How much do you think for Jesus? 20 million? Say, so that's 360. 10 million? 15?
Yeah, I'd say 10 max for Jesus, I'll be honest.
Okay, so 10 million for Jesus. How much for Trossard? 20?
No, less than that for Trossard. Maybe 10? 12, 13. 15? Let's say 15 to make it easy.
Okay. And then Martinelli might get about 50, 60 for him, possibly.
If we get 60 for Martinelli, I'll be more than happy, I'll be honest.
Okay. So you're looking at sort of circa 400 million, aren't you, for them sales, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you've got 400 million, you're going to get some serious shit replacement, aren't you? You might get a few other bits and bobs for other players, I'm not sure. But say if you've got 400 million, I'd sell Calafiori. You've got Hincapié there. Obviously, you've got the opportunity to go and get Nico Williams, Yildiz, or Kvaratskhelia, Alvarez, Vinicius Junior. As daft as it sounds, Mbappe has been spoke about, and now, as much as you can hate him, you can love him, whatever, you know, Ninja Turtle lookalike, fucking absolute twat. Don't diss the fact that if he came to the Arsenal, the elevation, we'd win the Premiership, right, for a start.
Killian the Disruptor. That's what I'm going to call him. That's what he is, man. That's what he is.
The thing is, he goes to Madrid and he's the big I am, right? Arteta's dealt with players like that before with Aubameyang. He would come in, he'd know his place, right? And look.
Sorry, okay, before you finish, one thing I will say is wages.
$500,000 a week.
That's the only reason we will never sign him. It's never going to happen. If there's a wage gap between our star boy and now
exactly.
You could say world class now, by the way, because he's won a league. I don't know where you want to put him in a world class status, but
the status is the World Cup. And the Champions League to be classed as Champions League is the first one, world class. And then the other one is obviously the World Cup, because you're doing it on the world stage for your national team.
What about the Euros?
The Champions League, to me, it's got to be consistent. And there's no way. And quickly, a nice little sort of segue into that. I've got a little.
But wait, because we still, you know, $500,000 a week. Do you think, knowing what you know of our squad,
than Saka, though?
No. Sorry, I do not dispute that. By the way, that's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is, going back to what I said, like what I was saying, Killian the Disruptor. So if he comes in on at least, and we're talking at least $500,000 a week, by the way, at least. We're not, you know, let's not talk about three quarters of a mil, but $500,000 a week. How the fuck can you justify like that much of a pay gap in between your players, and how can Mbappe not feel like I am the big I am? Do you know what I mean? Like, he is the big I am, sorry. It's like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's whether he wants to or not. Unfortunately, he'll know how much Saka would be on, or Havertz, or Gyökeres, or whatever. And he knows, like, shit, I'm making almost double what you're fucking making. And I've just come in. Do you see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about, the disruptor. It's got nothing to do with his value, because 100 million% he's worth way more than Saka. That's not even up for debate. So.
I agree. And I know, I understand what the big I am, but I think with the problem with Mbappe is, when he was at PSG, he was surrounded by the big I ams, the Messis, the Neymars. He goes to Real Madrid, he's surrounded by the juniors, the Bellinghams, etc., etc. And I think the Galacticos have this thing about everyone seems to want to be better than everyone else. And Mbappe goes in, and because he is the allegedly best player in the world and everyone kind of looks at him, I think that ruined his career. But if he goes to Arsenal, if he goes to somewhere else in the Premiership, God forbid, I hope he doesn't, but if he comes to Arsenal, I think Arsenal players, they're grounded, they're not the prima donnas of the world football stage like the Madrids, so that they'll kind of respect that he's the great talent, and they're not going to think, he's on. They're not thinking about the same about Saka. Saka's shit compared to like Mbappe, and if the rest of the Arsenal, we're going to get Mbappe, oh my god, fucking hell, how brilliant will that be? And he can be classed as a superstar. They'll adore him. Everyone will adore him.
My worry is just the history of Mbappe, really. Even at Paris, like the big players came to him, sort of like they surrounded him because he was already there, wasn't he? So, or was Neymar there before him? I think Neymar was there before him.
Was first, yeah.
Neymar was first, and then Mbappe and whatever. But at that point, I think he realized, like, shit, I'm surrounded by two of the greatest in the world right now with Messi and obviously Neymar. And then he wanted to make a name for himself. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like if he's able, if Arteta is able to control him, sort of thing, then yeah, of course. And I would love to see Mbappe in a fucking Arsenal shirt. As much as I am not his biggest fan, like genuinely I'm not because he's a bad player. It's just I just don't care for his attitude. Same as Neymar and so on. But
they've all got that attitude, haven't they? They've all got the chip on the block. They're great, always have that kind of nastiness in them where they think they're like a Cantona, the French. All they have to do is have a word with Henry. They're kind of mates. Look, Henry knows Arsenal inside out. They get together. They understand the nature of Arsenal, the heritage, etc., etc. Who knows? You give it a couple of years, he might be absolute dynamite for us, and that's the beauty about it. If we could get him, wouldn't you rather have the chance to have him rather than go to City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U?
Okay, I mean, let's say this is on the cards, right? How much are we looking for this guy? How much are they looking to fucking get in for this guy? Like, what I mean? How much are we looking to spend here?
Well, what did they pay for him? Didn't Madrid play like 120 million or 100? Was it 150, 160? I can't, because they were about Alvarez being the most expensive player in Madrid's history, so he can't have been more than that. He must have only been kind of relatively. Wasn't he free or something like that?
I think.
Did they get him on a free?
I think it was free. Hold on, let's have a look. 2 seconds. But I mean, he made the fucking money back in terms of shirt sales anyway.
Absolutely. He's got that similar pull to Ronaldo, Messi kind of thing, hasn't he? Because of his stature in world football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would there be a fee? Probably yes, but does it matter if it's 50 million? Is it 100? If it's 100 million and he's on 500 grand a week, he's still, the sales, the worldwide revenue that they're going to bring in because of that. Is it worth taking that risk for a player of his caliber? Possibly. Who knows?
Shirt sales will just explode if he comes. And look, like I said, that's my only concern with someone like Mbappe. He's a massive superstar coming to Arsenal. But yeah, if he wants to prove something and win a Champions League, I guess. Obviously, I know we're talking about Real Madrid, which is crazy because they are the ultimate champions. But something different. Something different for him, maybe a team that begins its next phase sort of centered around Mbappe. But again, we've seen that happen before. Real Madrid just tried to do that and it failed for them. PSG, yes, they won their own league, but it took them for Mbappe to go for them to win the Champions League, right? So yeah, that's another huge risk that you're taking because you are gambling on everything there, and Real Madrid will definitely want to recoup the money that they spent or feel like he's worth. And so yeah, easily around the 150 million. Let's not even say more. And at that point, you're just risking it all. You're just throwing the fucking, you're risking the house, really, aren't you? So, but of course, like we said, we got this will move throughout the World Cup and throughout the summer. So we will follow any stories on this as much as we can. And last couple of things really on football. Well, one thing really, Timber injury.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
I'm sad for him. Sad for him because obviously it's a World Cup that he'll have been thinking about this for 2 or 3 years. Gets to play for Arsenal. We win the Premiership. He did his best to get. I mean, he did all right in the final. He played like 60 odd minutes, I think it was, in the final, and he kind of didn't put a foot wrong really. And I thought, he's got himself there, and was he there? Was that too soon for him? The Champions League final. If he'd not played in that final, could he have been okay, or was that injury? Is it a recurring injury? I don't know. Is it something that is going to be okay for the start of the Premiership? Let's fingers crossed. We've got 8 weeks, kind of thing. So.
It's a while to go for sure for the beginning of the season, but yeah, it's never good when you, especially someone like a Timber, getting injured, because again they have a history with that, so it's always a bit scary. And I hope if he's going to be injured, I hope they obviously know before the beginning of the season, because there's no point trying to be like, oh well, we've got Ben White, so we'll just run him to the ground again. I forgot
about mentioning him to get sold.
No, he's not getting sold. Like, I don't want him to be sold, to be honest. The only reason he'll be sold is maybe because his injury has really affected him and he can't be at that high level that he used to be, which is fair enough. And again, that's, by the way, that's up to the squad. I'll blame the squad for that, because they ran that fucking player to the ground, mate. I'm surprised his knees are still fucking working. So we're talking about Timber being great and all this stuff. Yeah, by all means, he's fantastic. But let's not make any mistakes that, that Benny Blanco was a savior for us on many, many occasions. Just brilliant player. And he fully deserved that whole parade. He was sort of like the MVP of the parade. He was just, I love seeing that. Obviously sad that it was bittersweet because he's injured, but there you go. So I mean, with someone like Timber, if they can manage to manage it before the beginning of the season, do we need a different player coming in? Do we need a new, maybe not someone like a Timber replacement, but someone who's ready to sort of understudy him? Do you know what I mean? To ready to jump in.
Do we need an understudy, or do we need someone that's, maybe someone that's been there, done that, but it's like a second string at another Premiership club that we could just have as a backup? Not someone like Suarez, Cedric Suarez, because he was pretty garbage, to be fair.
Yeah, he was terrible.
But someone,
He was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think someone like Livramento could be like the ideal candidate to come in as his understudy. And if Benny Blanco does get moved on, we could recoup 20-30 million for him, which I think would be decent, and give him like another sort of fresh start somewhere, another club where the demands weren't as much as what they are at Arsenal, because exactly that's what's happened. Like you say, they ran him into the ground, and they ran Saka into the ground a couple of seasons ago, and maybe that's why he's not been as good. Who knows?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just quick in relation to that, they have sacked the doctor, haven't they?
Absolutely.
The team doctor, which I'm surprised it took this long, to be fair. But there you go. We won the Premier League, but then see you later, Doc. So yeah, hopefully that's something's going to change there, and I think I hope the player health is managed a lot better than it has been, because it's just been terrible, hasn't it? It's just been absolutely terrible with injuries for the past 3-4 seasons, so we've been plagued by them. But yeah, Stevie, I mean, there's not much going on. Obviously, there's been international friendlies happening around the States, and did you watch any of them, by the way?
Any of the friendlies? Yeah. I've had a couple of on in the background. I watched a bit of the England game. That was shite. I watched about 2 minutes of the Dutch game last night. There's nothing really exciting happening. Yeah. I think it kicks off Thursday, isn't it? I think Mexico the first game. So
yes. Yeah, that's right.
I'll be bothered. I might watch the opening ceremony, but I'm not really interested in the football.
No. I think it's just the fact that it's football, isn't it? Like, and it's a tournament. It's just like, it's something matters. It matters, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the England match was just fucking terrible, man. Wow, that was some absolute hot pile of shit, wasn't it? Really. If that's the way we got into a fucking tournament, then fuck me. Why do we even have any hope at any season? You know what I mean? In any sort of tournaments. I understand that there was a lot of young players. There was a lot of players missing, especially Arsenal players, because they were given the extra breaks. They've already joined up now, and it already feels that the level has been raised. Do you know what I mean? As soon as the Arsenal players arrived, it's like, oh, okay, key positions, there they are. Here we go, level raised. So, and by the way, it's been a long time since we've seen anything like that. So I'm very happy with the way that the Arsenal players, that they've been chosen, and I think it's over half the team have been representing the nations. Which is, again,
16,
when was the last time that happened to Arsenal? We're talking early mid 2000s, that type of shit. Yeah, because they were all French, so they all had to play French.
It was really nice as well. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that are circulating about where you see Rice and Eze talking with, and they're getting hands high five, and they're loving the boys with Rodgers, and it's kind of like Agent Eze is like loving it with Rodgers. You never know, do you? Because they all talk, don't they? Always like, hey, come on, are you going to come play with us? And obviously we've got quite a good, like you say, there's quite a lot of players there now that are in the England squad. Saka, Madueke, Rice, Eze. Come on, Rodgers.
What's the best marketing strategy? It's word of mouth. So
100%. Yeah.
You've got Eze there going, hey, Morgan, come to us, mate. See what I just won. See this fucking trophy.
Do you
We're in the Champions League final, mate.
Yeah. Do you think Saka and Rice had anything to do with Eze coming?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think they deleted those messages, but yeah, 100% they have something to do with that. They were the inside agents, 1,000,000%. So.
I have heard that Rodgers wants his first choice is Arsenal. I've heard that, but whether that's any truth or whether that's just speculation. I don't know, but I think that's what I've heard on the grapevine from like decent sources. But it's whether obviously Aston Villa would sell to a rival. But just quickly moving on, obviously, I know we sort of push for time. There's a few things that I've been thinking about, and the first one was with regards to PSG. We've been in with Barcola now. As much as you kind of alluded to the fact when he was up against Saliba in the Champions League final, he totally had his life, which I know he did. But there's talk of us bidding 130 million for him now. He's not a £100 million player to me. He's just another headless chicken like Martinelli. He's just a quicker version of Martinelli. Yeah. Right. Now,
I don't think he's the answer. I don't think he's the answer.
No, it would be a sidestep for us to get him. If we got 130 million for Martinelli and then we got Barcola, yes. But to sell Martinelli for 60, then pay 130 for Barcola, that's fucking shit. Whoever's going to do that, will want sacking. My other thing that I want, you will come back to them if you want to talk about either of these. But the other thing I saw someone put a post on a social media site, and I quickly had to reply, and it was, who would you rather have? A prime Saka or a prime Sanchez, right? And I don't know if you've seen it.
Sorry, Alexis.
The amount of idiots that were saying Saka, right?
Sorry, are we talking about Alexis Sanchez? Is that what we're talking about?
Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, fucking Alexis. Let's move on.
Well, yeah, I know. But the amount of idiots that were saying prime Saka.
Who the fuck? I can't even get angry, Stevie, at idiots. I can't. I do not want to waste energy on fucking on idiots.
Yeah. And I was like, Sanchez should have been in comparison to a prime Bergkamp or a prime Overmars or someone like that. Do you know what I mean? Or a prime Perez, that kind of ilk.
And they weren't even the same players. Like Perez and Alvarez and Sanchez, they were never the same similar players anyway. Do you know what I mean?
So
yeah, but exactly. No, that's crazy. That's
absolute idiots.
That's people not knowing what the fuck football is, by the way. So wow.
Yeah, and my other sort of point I wanted to bring up was. Everyone was been slating Arteta for his one premiership in 7 years, is it, or 6 years? Is it 7 now? Will it be 7?
So it'll be 7 coming up. Yeah. So this is the sixth year. Yeah.
So we've won the premiership. We've won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
We've won a cup. But Klopp.
Yeah.
Great Klopp.
Yeah.
Was there 9 years.
Yeah.
And he won one Premiership.
Yeah.
Although, yes, he did win the Champions League.
Okay, still got time.
He's been there 9 years.
Yeah, still got time. Yeah.
So, as much as everyone slated Arteta, and I was one of them, and I just want to, come on live and say, look, I was the one person that slated Arteta. I didn't think we would win the Premiership with him, so I'm holding my hands up. Well done, Mikel Arteta. He's proved me wrong, and I was wanting him to prove us wrong, like you did. You know what I mean? We all wanted him to prove us wrong.
See, the thing is, right, because we're Arsenal fans and we're lovely people, right? I'm not going to hold that against you, Stevie, right? I have not thrown that at your face or on your face or in your face, whichever the fucking one is. Not even now. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be the bigger man, right? I had faith. Like I said to you, I'll always remember that podcast where I just turned around to you. I was like, right, now, fuck everyone else. We are winning it. I have faith. And I've never wavered since then. But yeah, look, shit, man. There was a few things that you said this season that did come true, and Gabriel was 100% the one that'll always stick to my brain, because you nailed that from the beginning. You nailed that. You said he could make or break our season. And again, the good thing was that by the time he took that penalty kick, we'd already wrapped up the Premier League and we were champions, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to go down that route and hate on a player, then yeah. But obviously, I'm pretty sure that you don't have any hard feelings towards Gabriel. It's like, it is what it is. Try next time. The fact that he stepped up as well, which sort of shows what type of player he is. So, but yeah, look. In terms of football, there's not been much out there. I'm just having a look at some news. There's been the under-21s coach, Max Porter. He's left, or he's been sacked, as they say on the news. And of course, the chief club doctor as well, which was, it was long over fucking due. Real quick, is there anything else in terms of football, Arsenal, World Cup, anything that you want to throw in?
Nah, we'll discuss that later on, can't we?
We still got time.
Pod, I'm doing next couple of weeks' time. We'll have some sort of transfer news, or England will be knocked out, or something like that.
Something stupid, yeah. But we don't know. Hopefully that's not the case, though. And hopefully we're talking about Arsenal players scoring a lot of goals, making assists, damaging rival players, whatever it is.
I just hope we don't have any injuries. That's my main concern.
Yeah, I mean...
Main concern. Because obviously our players will be a bit tired still, and they're not going to have any rest, and they'll be straight into pre-season.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure as a tournament. Before we do leave, just real briefly on the Formula One. Obviously, it was the Monaco GP of the weekend. Now, I saw. Obviously, we saw each other over the weekend, so it's like we met up in person. And by the way, again, just got to clarify, when I said we met up in person, we've known each other before the podcast, so we met up in person plenty of times, right? So obviously, we saw each other on over the weekend, and because I had fucking family friends come over, I had to leave my house. I was like, my parents' house, because I was visiting. So I had to leave my parents' house because I can't be asked being here. So I missed the race. And about an hour or an hour and a half had passed by the time I came to yours. And I'm like, the fuck? Race is still on. What is happening? And I didn't realize, obviously, what was actually going on. So luckily, I didn't actually see who top was. My dad kind of gave it away the one I went home. So I was a bit unhappy about that. But... yeah, it was. I mean, look. What did you make of it, by the way? Honest opinion.
So, yeah. I mean, obviously, we spoke on the Saturday night, didn't we? With regards to, because I was really, really excited, thinking this is going to be a fucking mint race. The qualifying was absolutely electric. It was, so close at the top.
Oh, brilliant.
But then you think to yourself, we're at Monaco though, and it's notorious for shit. No one, I think no one outside the top three have won it in the last 20 years or something. I don't know if that's some sort of stat.
Yeah. That was a stat. That was a stat. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought to myself, fucking hell. And then obviously Max fucks up at the start, which kind of made it worse, because you'd expect it to be a bit more interesting. But then again, if he'd have got to the front, would it have just been as boring with Anelli kind of thing, or would they have had a fight? Probably not. Yeah, it was pretty non-eventful for a good hour, wasn't it, to be fair?
For a long time. It
was piss boring, in all honesty. And it only got interesting right at the end, the last sort of 10, 15 laps, when people started crashing out or engines blowing up.
I mean, Lance Stroll started that whole fucking safety car bullshit when he went directly into the wall. And I think there was brake issues. I think Leclerc was having the same issue as well. But you're right, though. I think what ruined it was, well, the potential of Max Verstappen, making a very good start and fighting Kimi, or him blocking Kimi or whatever, and then one of the Ferraris makes it through. And again, we were talking about this, on WhatsApp, and like that's what we were excited about. It's like, Ferraris are real quick. This could be something different here, because Kimi's notoriously in the last 5 races that he's won, he hasn't made a good start. So it was just natural to think that. But I guess when it's Monaco and that if you do not make that corner first, that first turn, that's it. You are struggling for the rest of the race. And I think that sort of went through his head. He nailed it, and off he went. And what sort of astounded me was the fact that by lap 2, he was like fucking 8 seconds away. Like, what?
I thought that whoever was second, was it Hamilton second or not?
Yes, Hamilton second. Yeah. Well, it was Hamilton second. Hamilton second because obviously Verstappen went, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was holding everyone up. I thought Hamilton must be slowing people down. But it wasn't. It was Antonelli was just fucking rapid, wasn't he?
Oh, Antonelli was just on it. He was on a different level, and I think the Ferraris made a good start. There was no bogging down. There was nothing of the sort, and so I don't understand what actually happened and why and how. Antonelli managed to get away that much by lap 2, and you know what I mean. And I think after that happened, you sort of realize, right? Okay, well, I'm only watching for second, third here because it's irrelevant what's happening at the front. He just fucked off and never looked back, really. So yeah, in that aspect, it was pretty boring, and yeah, there was not much sort of fighting going on, and there was. I think we had. Excuse me. Wow. Sneeze. Sorry, that was a sneeze attack. We did have 7 drivers did not fucking finish. It's incredible. Honestly, it was brilliant to sort of see that. But then at the same time, nothing was happening at the front. It's like, can you just balance it out, please? But no. And then obviously near the end, Lance Stroll decides it's funny to go into a wall, and yeah, so that just brought up everything. And I'll be honest, I think. Because I didn't know the result, and I rewatched it like later on or the day after, like the full race. When that happened, I thought, oh, okay, interesting here, because I didn't know, and this could change everything. Even though Antonelli was dominating, I thought, right, safety car, Hamilton's going to be quite good at here. Fucking Leclerc's going to be quite good here. Let's do this, right? It's going to be a good end, like 7 laps, 6 laps, whatever it was. But then my guy. And your guy, Charlie the luck, right? I mean, the bad luck in this case.
Yes.
I mean, how many? You've done 60 laps of this fucking circuit just this season, by the way. I'm not talking about the other seasons that he's raced around this fucking circuit. 60 laps, right? You surely you would feel the tarmac falling away, and you saw it. Obviously, we saw the black patch of tarmac like on camera. I have no doubt that had some effect. But you're telling me at the restart, like, okay, you had soft tires on, they were cold, blah blah blah, whatever. Dude, why are you rushing? Like, the guy hadn't even crossed the finishing line yet, like the start line. Sorry, so technically you weren't even racing yet.
I know.
And he went straight into the fucking wall, and I don't understand. You can blame the brakes all you want, but come on, mate. Lack of concentration, because
it wasn't the brakes, was it?
You should have done better there. I'm sure it was. No. I'm sure it was the brakes. But I thought
it was the little marbles, the little rubber marbles. It was a combination of the marbles.
It was.
And
track falling off, and the marbles, all of it. I have no doubt that the brakes played.
No one else did it apart from Gasly.
Well, Stroll in this case, wasn't it?
Stroll, sorry.
And you're right. 20 other drivers or 16, 17 other drivers didn't actually fucking do it. They went with no incident. But as soon as the fucking pressure comes on to Charles Leclerc, that's it, where it's like, dude, this could be it. You could challenge for second here. Get on it. Oh, this is your podium finish. Fucking get on it.
I think wasn't he pissed off? The fact is that, well, I mean, it was obviously Hamilton was very, very lucky. The fact is that it was a safety car and he could come in and pit, serve his 5-second penalty, and Charlie had to come in behind him. I think that's what pissed spoiled. I just felt he was a bit of a spoiled brat in that race.
He was.
Charlie.
He was.
I thought, he got the better of him, and he kind of showed his true colours, and he was like, "Oh, I'm the faster driver. I was catching Holland, blah blah blah." And he probably was, but I think that kind of just.
But he didn't.
Showed to me the bit of a spoiled brat, really. And but yeah, so Hamilton, he's second in the championship now, which is decent for him. He's never been that close since 2021, I don't think.
Yeah. 66 points. 66 points behind. And
so
to be honest with you, like I think from second to fourth is very close. Obviously you can go even a bit further down, like up until 6 with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, but it's very close for that. But I feel like by the end of September, beginning of October, I think Antonelli's going to wrap this season up. And it's
unless they have a total capitulation and McLaren kind of get back into it, because they surely they can't be as bad as what they have been. They've lost all. I mean, Ferrari seem to be the closest challenges at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And there is a thing that I read. I can't find it now, but there is something that I read in terms of power units and having the extra sort of power coming in the next few races. And Mercedes, they weren't going to have anything because they already had the most powerful engine, and I think Ferrari were going to get a bit of an uplift, and McLaren and so on. So that could be good. That could be a very good change. And I think next race is Barcelona this weekend.
Yes.
I look forward to it, to be honest, because I like the track. So it'll be interesting.
Definitely.
And it's a full race circuit, not a street circuit. So it could be so many different aspects playing on there. But yeah, look, George Russell, real quick before we leave.
Good. Yeah, I enjoyed his little battle. Unfortunately, I mean, to be fair, I don't like him as a person.
Yeah, same.
But I think he's quite entertaining to watch on the track because he's a bit unpredictable and he gets pissed off, which I kind of like that.
He's the whiny child, isn't he? He's the whiny fat child, like I want it now, Mom. I want it now. That type of child. Yeah, he's that kid, and sometimes I can get annoyed.
He had a good battle, didn't he? With with
Hadjar, wasn't it?
At the time.
It was Hadjar.
Who?
It was Hadjar in 6, I think.
That's right. Yeah, he just couldn't get past him, and I was loving that because it was getting him more frustrated. And I thought he's going to do something ridiculous in a minute, and obviously he got the penalty, and then he got away with another penalty for going across the white line. Which
no. Look,
I just think it's funny.
I'll be honest. That whole white line thing, I think the stewards made the right choice because his full wheel didn't go over that. So I think that would have been very harsh. The problem that I had wasn't with George Russell, was with Mercedes. The fact that he came in and it's like, why are you not serving the 5-second penalty? Just fucking serve it, do your thing, and then fuck off. But because some twat touched the fucking front wheel, that's why obviously he was like, well, we have to do this now. So and even George was confused. So that was another 5 seconds. So that's a 10-second penalty. I think he ended up in 13th. I think it was.
Yeah. It was pointless. Somebody just retired the car, but you can't, can you?
Fucking hell! Where did he even end up?
Well, he was last for a while, wasn't he? But then obviously the safety car came out.
12th, sorry, yeah, that's right, yeah. So he ended up 12th and, outside the points, ultimately outside the points. And Alonso, Ocon and Albon, fucking, and Gasly. Oh, shit, Gasly actually, very good. I thought excellent, yeah. So Gasly was in the points because I saw him drop down the order because he had a penalty as well. So I thought he dropped out of the points, but yeah. I like that, to be honest. It's something different. It shakes it up. Even with Antonelli at the front, it shakes it up because even though I'm saying he's going to wrap it up by beginning of October, he's still a young lad. He's still a young driver. It could get to his head. The summer break could get too much for him. The pressure could get too much. It's like, I'm expected to win it, so I should be able to win it. That's when everything goes to shit. So it's peaks and troughs.
It makes a fascinating racing now.
Of course it does.
Especially with obviously the Russell.
Exactly.
Any of the other teams kind of come into the fore. Ferrari would be nice if Charles Leclerc, he's a bit like Russell. He's a bit like Russell, and anything can happen. Yeah, so
they're from the same era of drivers, same as Lando Norris as well, right? Like same era of drivers. So bit of whiny bitches, basically. The sensitive drivers, if you will, where they have to be coddled and fucking wrapped in cotton wool and shit. Oh, don't worry, Charles. Don't worry, Charles. You'll get this. That was me rubbing Charles' head, by the way. I don't know if that came across.
Only a little small head, wasn't it?
That's how I imagine all Formula One drivers are tiny people. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah, they are. I
just
know
being
exactly what you
shot
mean.
into a fucking car, like slotted in. There you go. Oh, don't worry,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Oh yeah, they slam the steering wheel. And, oh my god, get it again.
They do this like, ugh. It's like, all right, man, relax, right? Don't be that fucking. Anyway,
That is the kind of the adult version of throwing the toys out the pram, isn't it? When they do that.
that
They
is
throw
literally
the
you
kids
throwing.
thing
So
out.
the saying should be you throwing the steering wheel out the car.
What's that other thing that keeps all the shoulders in and stuff? Because
That's a neck brace, isn't it? That's
blown off.
That's your neck brace. That's the first one that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. Yeah, fucking yeah. You're throwing the steering wheel out the car. Brilliant. Right. Okay. Look, Stevie. You know, F1. It's back on over the weekend, but I won't be available to do a podcast until the week after because I'm going to Albania to see my small
correct.
child. I say small. He's a chunk. He's a
You're
chunk.
doing that to his head.
Yeah, to his head, but he's actually up here because he's quite a big child. But yeah, we will be back, and there will be clips and stuff like that. So please get in touch with us on.
Yeah,
you can even leave comments on Spotify. By the
What I
way.
was going to ask if anyone's got any ideas for a podcast for us to do, kind of thing. Like if they've got anything that they want to talk about.
What you want to hear throughout the summer, by all means, get in touch. Like I said, that you can leave comments on Spotify directly after listening to the podcast. Leave a rating. You can find us on Blue Sky, find us on Threads. We're quite active on there, especially on Threads. We're quite active, so please do follow us on there, or just have a look around, see what you fancy. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. Cool. We're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for listening and bearing with us. Really, it's been an hour and a half. Wow, Stevie, we were worried about not having content, but there you go. We've had content. So thank you so much for listening. We will catch you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay alert. Stevie, send us out.
Arrivederci. Au revoir. Baby.
Love it.
Goodbye.